This Muslim country ratified changes to its legal code that made women equal to men before the law. This young explorer skirted the southern shores of this island on this day centuries ago. Any guesses? Keep watching, guys. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Sotonye Afiesimama. If you're a subscriber, I do appreciate you dropping by once again. Thanks for your support. If you're a returning visitor, I appreciate you visiting my channel once again. Why not subscribe so that you receive updates of my video uploads? If you're here for the first time, welcome to my channel. Here, I discuss events that occurred on this day in history with a view to informing, hopefully entertaining, and most importantly, that we learn lessons from the positive as well as the negative events that have happened on this day, with a view to not repeating the negative events, obviously, because as the saying goes, history tends to repeat itself. So guys, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, let's get cracking with today in history. First, we shall go to Tasmania. Yes, I did allude to the guy. His name is Abel Janszoon Tasman. That's the guy pictured here. So this is a guy who sailed from Batavia in Jakarta, Indonesia, to investigate the practicality of a sea passage eastward to Chile and to explore New Guinea. He skirted the southern shores of Tasmania, the island which is named after him. So this was the day in 1642 that Dutch navigator Abel Janszoon Tasman skirted the southern shores of Tasmania. So for those of you who do not know where Tasmania is, I shall show you a picture. So that southern island there in the Indian Ocean, obviously the humongous one is Australia, and yeah, Tasmania is part of Australia. So that's the island of Tasmania with Launceston and Hobart. I guess Hobart is the capital. And so it says first voyage in this picture, Abel Janszoon Tasman's first journey to Tasmania, which he discovered. Well, he didn't discover it. He stayed there to plan for his next journey. So the first European to sail to Tasmania, I guess. First recorded European. So again, he didn't discover it. There were natives there way before Abel Tasman. So let's move on to the year 1784. So 142 years later, we're in the United States, and this is Zachary Taylor, 12th President of the United States. Born on this day, he served from March 1849 until his death in July 1850. Wow, that was a short tenure. Taylor previously was a career officer in the United States Army. He rose to the rank of Major General and became a national hero as a result of his victories in the Mexican-American War. As a result, he won election to the White House despite his vague political beliefs. His top priority as president was preserving the Union. He died 16 months into his term. He made no progress on the most divisive issue in Congress, which at the time was slavery. So this is Zachary Taylor, who was born on this day, 1784, died in 1850, 16 months after taking office as president. 1859, on this day, Charles Darwin's On the Origin of Species was published. So the Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection. That's the full title of the book. So he published his book on this day in 1859. Okay, so for those of you who know a bit about evolution. Yes, this is a guy who propounded that theory of evolution. I guess today there are different ideas or varieties of the theory of evolution that he propounded. What I know from observing nature, is that now I'm not going to talk as though I'm an expert in Charles Darwin's theory of evolution. I haven't read his book, but what I hear about this theory is that we, as a human species, evolved from single-celled animals, in quotes, and over millions and billions of years we became human. Personally, I don't think that that's possible, because what we observe in nature is that dogs remain dogs, for instance, birds remain birds. You can have variety, so you can have microevolution within a species. You don't have a dog turning into a cat, which I think Charles Darwin's theory of evolution seems to teach. Okay, so kinds remain within the kind, within the species. A human being still is a human being. You have African Americans, you have Africans, you have mixed race people, you have Arabs, you have Asians, you have amongst the Asians, the Indians, the Chinese, the Filipinos, the Mongols, the Japanese, but they're all human beings. Okay, so varieties within the kind. That's what we observe in nature, and that's what I believe. Okay, so let's move on now to the year 1864. Henri Marie Raymond de Toulouse-Lautrec Montfort. What a long name. I thought my name was long. He was a French painter, born on this day in 1864. He was also a printmaker, a draftsman, caricaturist, and illustrator, whose immersion in the colorful and theatrical life of Paris in the late 19th century allowed him to produce a collection of enticing, elegant, and provocative images of the modern, sometimes decadent affairs of those times. So this is Henri de Toulouse-Lautrec for short. Toulouse-Lautrec. This is a self-portrait. I shall show you another picture of him. Well, a few more actually. So that's Toulouse-Lautrec in his studio doing his thing. Okay. And that's a picture of Toulouse-Lautrec. Seemed to be a bit of a dwarf, I think. Looks like his legs seem a bit short here. So that's Toulouse-Lautrec. Very talented artist. Quite like that one. Okay, and then some more pictures. That's really nice. That's really good. Really good. Okay, let's move on to the next important event on this day. 10 years later, on this day, a patent was received. American inventor Joseph Sewell Glidden patented the first successfully or commercially successful barbed wire. He was born in Charleston, New Hampshire, of English descent. His family later moved to Clarendon, New York. In 1843, he moved to Illinois with his wife. She and their 2 sons died after the move. Wow, that's sad. And Glidden married Lucinda Warren in 1851. Would say he remarried, didn't he? He remarried and Lucinda Warren in 1851. He created barbed wire by using a coffee mill to create the barbs. Joseph placed the barbs along a wire and then twisted another wire around it to keep the barbs in place. Wow. Simple but effective, you know. So again, that is Joseph Gladen who invented the barbed wire. So this picture here states, developed by Joseph Gladen, it allowed farmers to cheaply and efficiently fence in land. And there's a picture of a barbed wire and a picture of Joseph Gladen right here. I do this for those who cannot see. For those of you who can see, bear with me. Not everyone who is listening to YouTube, can see like me and you. So we have to take them into consideration as well. 1877, on this day, Anna Sewell published her only novel, Black Beauty, the first major animal story in children's literature. So Anna Sewell, shortly before her death, published Black Beauty in 1877, her only novel, the first major animal story in children's literature. Last but not least, yes, I did allude to this at the beginning as well. So the country is Turkey. In case you haven't noticed, I don't know, can't read Turkish, don't understand what's written there, but you can see, have an idea what it's about. It's about women's rights. This, you can see the symbol there, the circle and the cross, which is a symbol for women. So the Grand National Assembly of Turkey on this day ratified changes to the country's legal code that made women equal to men before the law and no longer subject to their husbands. So, pictures of Turkish women protesting. Okay, guys, what do you think about that? What do you think about women being equal to men before the law? I think there's nothing wrong with that. They're human beings. They work, they pay their taxes. Why shouldn't they be equal to men before the law? They should be. The people, religious people who would take that to the other extreme, but at the end of the day, we are human beings. Yes, in your house as a man, most religions recognize a man as a head of the home, but you're not the head of the home to oppress your wife. That's not the point. You're the head of the home to be a leader. You have someone who you can confide in and say, well, this is what I want to do. What do you think? You don't think that as a man you know it all. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. It's good, but as long as it's not hijacked by feminists, again, so that's the other extreme. Feminism has a negative connotation, especially in the West. People, there should be a balance. We have to recognize women's rights. We don't want to oppress them and put them down, speak ill about them and, tell them they're weak, all the negative stereotypes about women. Same goes with people who have a different sexual orientation, people from a different race, different size, and so on and so forth. We should all be treated fairly before the law. Okay, so on that note, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have come to the end of today's Today in History for the 24th of November. Join me tomorrow, November 25th, for another edition of Today in History. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, when you do subscribe, click the notification bell so that you receive updates of my video uploads. Thanks for your support, guys. Stay safe, and I shall see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.